Even bigger than the Mbappe transfer. You'll see when you play it. He will be a world star. This comment came directly from this video that Real Madrid posted to their official YouTube channel titled Arda Guler, new Real Madrid player. A video which has already gone on to rack up massive view numbers unlike we have ever seen for a player of his profile, as he's already comfortably overtaking Jude Bellingham in terms of the transfer hype, despite his transfer costing the club significantly less. For someone who was literally a nobody only just 2 years ago, the hype surrounding Arda Güler is absolutely unbelievable. Arda Güler is an 18-year-old teenage Turkish footballer who just recently signed for Real Madrid from Turkish giants Fenerbahce for an initial transfer fee of 20 million euros. The hype surrounding this transfer has been massive. Arda, the wonder kid branded as a Turkish Messi, is making waves. Every post Real Madrid makes about him has attracted more attention than what one would suggest a player of his profile is meant to have. I mean, he only rose to prominence just last season. His posts are already getting big level engagement. This goes to show how many people are truly invested in him, and this acquisition has only made Real Madrid's already scary profile of young players even scarier. Real Madrid went through incredible lengths to secure his signatures, beating their rivals Barcelona to his signature in somewhat controversial fashion. So what's all the hype about? And how did this teenager that virtually no one had even heard of about 2 years ago become Real Madrid's most exciting transfer of the summer? Arda Guler is an 18-year-old Turkish midfielder who prior to his move to Real Madrid was applying his trade in Istanbul-based club Fenerbahce, where he would go on to make his name in a short amount of time. Güler arrived at the club in 2019 aged 14 from Gençler Birliği. He made his first team debut in August 2021 at 16 years of age when he came on as a late sub in a match against Antalyaspor and subsequently registered an assist only just 2 minutes after his introduction. This performance didn't exponentially increase his minutes, restricting him to making late cameo appearances, which totaled to about 286 minutes across 12 appearances. Nevertheless, his talents were clearly visible for all to see. He finished that season, the 2021-22, with 3 goals and 3 assists, and as his popularity began to increase steadily, so did his stock too. Although his minutes were limited, as is often the case with majority of players his age, he got the opportunity to train with some of the team's senior players. One of them happened to be former Arsenal and Real Madrid star Mesut Ozil, one of the players he's had the honor of being compared to. The both of them were said to have been quite close, with Ozil even saying, "I have a brother I believe in," when asked the following question: "Is there a better 10 than you in Turkey?" To which his reply was, "Difficult question. A name occurs to me. I have a brother I believe in. I hope that God protects him from the evil eye. He is Arda Güler." 2022-23 was the season in which everything changed for the young Turk. Now with the departure of Mesut Ozil, Arda was given the club's number 10 shirt, a shirt which not only strengthened the comparisons with Ozil, but signified his importance to the club in the coming future. But this didn't really automatically translate to him becoming a regular starter in the team. With Juan Jesus now at the helm, Güler made his first appearance of the season in Fenerbahce's second match, coming on as a substitute to score 2 goals in their 6-0 win over Kasımpaşa. Many Fenerbahce fans thought that after this performance, the attacking midfielder would see his minutes increase, but that unfortunately never happened, as he was restricted to just playing 41 minutes in the club's opening 19 matches of the season. In the Europa League, he became the 4th youngest player at 17 years and 251 days to score an assist, doing so in a match against Dynamo Kiev. He saw his minutes significantly increased in the second half of the season, and his influence on the team was massive. Across the campaign, Arda created 40 goal-scoring chances, an average of 23 minutes, which was the best average record by a player in the country's top flight since 2014-15. He was also pivotal in bringing the cup home for Fenerbahce when he created 8 chances, including an assist for one of 2 of Michy Batshuayi's goals. It is very clear that over in Turkey, he was held in high regard, and it is hard not to see why. The way he plays football is incredibly captivating. He has the elegance and flair when on the ball, and it's why he's been compared to players like Ozil, Guti, Modric, and even Lionel Messi, all players with magical abilities on the ball. Arda primarily plays as an attacking midfielder, but he's often been deployed to play on the flanks, a role in which he's also excelled in. "I can play centrally or wide, but I don't mind where I play. I want to earn minutes here. I like to be an offensive player and create goals or goal-scoring situations. I'll play where the coach wants me to play." Soon after the completion of the season, Güler would score his first international sensational goal in Turkey's 2-0 win over Wales in the Euros qualifiers, becoming the youngest player to do so for the national team. Around this time, the world truly began to notice. He was linked with moves away to clubs such as Arsenal, Barcelona and Real Madrid, and although the prospect of leaving for one of the biggest clubs in the world was very exciting, there was fear that his move out of Fenerbahce might be a little bit too early, a sentiment which was also shared by Mesut Ozil, as according to Mundo Deportivo, Ozil tried persuading him to stay in Turkey. Barcelona were the ones who seemed to have been closer to getting his signature, as confirmed by President Joan Laporta to TV3. He's a very young Turkish player. It is true that the scouting department has been following him for some time, and he is wanted by all the important clubs in Europe. And we're talking to Fenerbahce. But in a drastic turn of events, Arda chose to sign for their arch rivals Real Madrid, much to the dismay of Barcelona fans, more so to the club's higher-ups who were the ones going through all of the trouble to try to get him. The man least impressed by how the transfer transpired was Barcelona's new sporting director, Deco, who feels that himself and the club were used to negotiate a much better deal with Real Madrid. According to Laporta, Deco traveled to Istanbul to close the deal, and the initial plan was that just like Victor Roque, Güler would sign for the club but then stay at Fenerbahce for a year till 2024 before coming to the club, which according to sources from Turkey didn't seem to be a problem, as the club had an agreement with Fenerbahce, which of course Güler and his entourage should probably have been aware of. But upon Deco's arrival in Turkey, he was made to understand by Arda's entourage that they wanted to leave Turkey as soon as possible, with any agreement between Barcelona and Fenerbahce meaning nothing to them. Deco also tried offering them a solution by promising to look for a club outside of Turkey for Arda to spend his time on loan, but he left the meeting feeling something was odd.
Real Madrid are close to signing Arda Guler, one of the best talents in Europe. They have submitted a new bid to beat Barcelona on the deal for Arda Güler.
Real Madrid would announce the completion of his transfer on the 6th of July 2023, much to the delight of Madridistas all over the world, one which would generate a lot of buzz across the whole football world, with the engagement on any post which he was a subject of taking off exponentially. The announcement post has even surpassed Lionel Messi's PSG announcement post in terms of likes, and has even surpassed Jude Bellingham's in terms of overall engagement. This is very impressive for a player who seemingly came out of nowhere. While the hype surrounding this transfer on the surface is really impressive, the same cannot be said about the behind the scenes, as there is more to this transfer than meets the eye. Now, while Fenerbahce got a fixed 20 million euros fee along with 10 million in variables and 20% of any future sale, Arda received an 8 million euros signing bonus, and his father Umit Güler received 15 million euros in commission, totaling the amount the family received to 23 million euros. This, according to reports, infuriated Fenerbahce, who believed that Umit played dirty and only used Barca's interest to get the highest possible commission from Real Madrid while cutting Fenerbahce out. It was revealed that he'll be wearing the number 24 jersey, and he was given his presentation by the club, during which a wholesome video of the midfielder and his mother was shared. In his first press conference, he quickly ruled out the possibility of going on loan. "I ruled out that possibility. I want to stay here. Going out on loan doesn't enter into my thinking. I've come here to play, and I'll play. There are many good players here, but I feel I'm ready to play here. I'm going to give my all to earn my place in the squad." The coach called me a few times and told me where I'd play. As well as his idols, Real Madrid has an impressive history. I remember the Champions League finals, watching them with my friends. They have had so many great players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, Mesut Ozil, Guti. For me, Luka Modric is the best midfielder in the world, and I think I'll learn a lot from him. I want to also form part of this history. Real Madrid is currently building a monstrous team, and the fact that it's filled with young players makes them even scarier. There will be immense competition for a spot in the team, and so Güler has a lot to prove. Immediately upon signing for the club, he cancelled his holidays so he'd be part of the team's pre-season. His determination to make it at Real Madrid is perhaps his most admirable trait. Remains yet to be seen where this would go, but we'll only find out later in the future.